Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Retro, the West Coast Avengers Scarlet Witch. So Hasbro kind of did this thing where like, oh, there's all these cool Disney Plus shows. We got WandaVision, we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we have Loki. So why not do a release of a figure comic based from those characters in addition to the Disney Plus MCU figures that we're going to do? So lo and behold, on the retro card back, we got Scarlet Witch. There is also the Vision figure, the White Vision figure, which I will be reviewing next after Scarlet Witch. There is also Loki that's coming out, Lady Loki that's coming out. There's also a Falcon figure. So a bunch of figures. You know, we didn't get a U.S. Agent, which would have been really cool and really tied in with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Huge missed opportunity there with Hasbro, I think. So it's kind of interesting. They just kind of did all these things. I'm happy to get them. This figure, especially because even though it's a repaint of what we got in the Family Matters 3-pack that was exclusive to Amazon, this is an absolutely fantastic figure. So this could be a way for people to get the Scarlet Witch figure where they may not have gotten this one because they didn't want another Magneto, or they didn't want the Quicksilver, or they missed out on it, even though it had gone on sale a couple of times at really good prices. I think now it might be a little bit pricey. So it's a good way for those folks to be able to get this figure. And I actually think I like this version more than the 3-pack version. So let's take a look at it. This one really changes things up, because usually it's like the big logo or font work up on the front would be of the character's logo type of thing, like Captain America, Iron Man. But here, they opted with the West Coast Avengers specifically, and the same for the Vision figure. And then here on the little, the call-out portion, that's usually where we would get like the gimmick or something like that. That's where we actually get the name or title card, so Scarlet Witch. We got that cool artwork there. Looking at the back, we see the same with all the other retro Marvel Universe or Avengers themed card backs. Same artwork on the back there. Scarlet Witch's bio reads, Scarlet Witch finds her heartbreak turn to horror when she encounters her husband Vision, rebuilt with no memory of their love. Oh, so sad. Anyway, let's get Wanda out of the package. Okay, and before I forget, so big shout out to Nerdzoic, Big Nerdy Matt. He actually was one of the first websites to have these in stock, like ready to ship. Not just, you know, your pre-order ships and there's none available additional to order. He actually had it in stock. I was able to put in the pre-order, and then like a week or so later, he actually shipped it. He announced on Facebook that he was going to have it in stock in the next few days or early the next week. So I put in the order, and then he shipped out right away. So big shout out to Nerdzoic for sending it out and expediting the shipping out to me so I can get the review for you guys out. So link in the video description below for a referral link. So if you use that link and sign up for a new Nerdzoic rewards account, you actually will get a $5 coupon. So that is pretty cool. So again, link in the video description below. Okay, and here is the Scarlet Witch figure out of the packaging, and again, looks really good and gives people a great opportunity that missed out on the 3-pack Family Matters version to get this one. Or if you don't have the All-Father Build-A-Figure Wave version of Scarlet Witch, it is essentially the same thing. The body is all the same, the cape is the same, they're just different head sculpts. The new one is above and beyond, by far, million times over, much better than the All-Father Wave version. This one is just an all-around better look. The head sculpt, the hair, everything looks more realistic. This was a little bit earlier on with Hasbro, whereas the paint quality wasn't that great. Like, I'm looking at it, and I think the skin tone was painted, not the red, which the red you would think would have been the painted portion. Just kind of funky. And then this one also had heels, which were a real pain in the ass. But the good thing about the heels is that it made the figure taller to where she wasn't basically staying up because of the cape, which essentially this is how this figure is standing up. If you notice, she just leans back and the cape is doing all the work and getting her to stand up. Part of that is because, oh, there we go, I have her standing now. Part of that is because the cape is very back heavy, so it leans her back. The other thing is I hate these female body models. They're just so terrible, especially like this one. This one's all warped, and I know I just got to heat it up and it'll be back to normal, but that's how easily these things really get warped. Because they're so thin, and then these ones now are really stiff at the thigh. They don't want to move. So it's just kind of complicated from there. But aesthetically, overall, the figure looks absolutely fantastic. So let's get in for a closer look and look at the beautiful head sculpt, because it is so nicely done. The paint apps are so good. And it's just all around great. So let's take a closer look at that. Okay, so here we are in for the closer look at Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. And damn, that head sculpt looks absolutely fantastic. And again, it is the same that we had seen in the Family Matters 3-pack, with a couple of differences. For the most part, the paint apps are going to be the same. She has black eyebrows on this one because she has much darker hair, right? She has almost black with some brown highlights and things in there to really give it a nice look. Whereas on this one, her hair is a much lighter brown, and it looks to be like there's a little bit of a wash to bring out some of the details in there, but hair color is different. We get these magic effects that we've seen used many a time over. But it's done in this nice pinkish color that to really kind of match her outfit, like her legs and her arms and stuff. So that is cool. We also get these wraparound pieces here that we've seen quite a few times. A lot of times we see them as flames, but they also are used as like magic effects. So looking at Scarlet Witch, we'll see the comparison side by side. The skin tone is a little bit darker on the older version as well, but essentially the exact same thing. The figures are all the same, just, you know, repaint. I guess minor difference in design choice, whereas the boots kind of came to a point here. On this new one, they do not come to a point. They're just kind of flat across there, which is kind of a bummer. You would think that actually should have been kind of had a pointed look to it. I'm trying to look at, I'd have to see, but no, I guess that works. But again, essentially the same. The hands are the same. Everything is the same. So we might skip the articulation a little bit, or I'll go over it quickly. The head is just going to rotate a bit. You're not going to get it to move up or down because the hair, that's some big ass hair. There's no way to really work around that. Oh, look at that. They actually painted a little bit of red on her back. Oh, that's a nice touch. Did they do that on this? Oh, they did that on this one as well. Oh, it's because it's actually sculpted, and then they just painted where it was sculpted. I see. Tricky Hasbro. The diaphragm joint gets very little movement, so pivot to that side, pivot to that side, pivot back, but you got a cape, so it's not really going to do a whole lot. Pivot forward, which is hardly anything. You got the swivel there, but these legs are extremely stiff. Like, that's all you're going to get, and they don't want to... They're tight in there, but that's as far as they go. Not a whole lot of motion coming forward. You know, she actually gets a decent kick forward, but you know, it's again, mine's very stiff for some reason. Upper thigh cut in there, double jointed knee, like so. Foot hinges down, hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes up the bottom of the feet. Single jointed elbow, swivel at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, hinge as well. The cape kind of gets in the way, but you can get the arm to go straight out, and you get a full rotation in there, but again, because of the cape, it'll kind of get in the way. But yeah, this looks really, really good. I'm sure people are going to want to see some head swaps, so let's see. If we pop that head, it's on a ball joint. There's no hinge on this thing whatsoever. So I think a lot of those older ones, you know, they went no hinge. So let's see the darker hair on this one. The problem is the crown is not going to match this time. But you can pop that head on there, and it looks pretty good too. The crown is a darker red, which matched that cape. So this one being a lighter red doesn't match as well. But it's good enough that you can pass if that's what you want to do. And you have that look. So this isn't actually the new Vision figure. This is the previously released in a Target exclusive 3-pack with Hulk and Ultron, translucent with a little bit of white paint. The new one looks so much better than this guy. Same body though that it's used. But looking at it, so we have Vision and Scarlet Witch from the West Coast Avengers kind of together. And then in the Vision video, I will show the Scarlet Witch with that Vision, since they, you know, kind of line up. And were released essentially at the same time, so how about that? So there we go, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Okay, so we essentially have 3 of the same Scarlet Witch action figures. New head sculpts compared to that one. this no heels compared to that one. But this new one is my favorite. The metallic looks really cool, and it was perfect at the time. But now that we have this new one, I like these colors a lot more than those metallic versions. The lighter hair, or the darker hair, I think the darker hair ends up actually looking good because the brown highlights in it, they just did a really good job with it. Not that this one's bad by any means, it's not. But I do just think that one looks a little bit better. But you guys let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts on that are. Are you going to be picking up this Scarlet Witch? Are you going to be passing on it if you have that 3-pack? Or are you getting it for the retro card and going to keep it on the card, not open it or anything like that? I will eventually get a second one that will hang up on the wall with all of the others. But in the meantime, I have this one open here. And I can kind of put them in different places. I have the Brotherhood version, I can have an Avengers version, and I can have an X-Men version. So I guess that kind of works out that way. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this Scarlet Witch figure, if you're picking it up or not. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.